Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vahagraphy Talk, number 52. Today's guest, we have Peanut Chu in the house. Peanut Chu Adventures. Chuck will join us in a second, and let's rock and roll. How you doing, Peanut?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I
You
love this. I love the stuff you're doing on your channel, and I see you're growing with subscribers, and you deserve it. You do a good information, and I love watching it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So I somebody recommended your channel to me like about a few months ago. I don't remember who it was, but I think it was a fellow by the name of Long Rider.
Yeah,
You know Long Rider.
yeah.
Okay, that's who it was. Okay.
Yes, long ride. Yep.
So that's and then I checked your channel out. I was like, "Wow, this guy does really good bird photography and I like his videos. You're funny. You have a Z9 and
Well,
you're
maybe
rock
not intentionally funny. Maybe it just comes out that way. Probably.
Yeah, you have a Z9 and you're rocking those long lenses. We're going to get into all that in the stream today. Hey guys, people are streaming in right now. Peanut, do you see the chat on the right there, right?
I don't.
If
I,
you go to comments on the top.
oh, go to comment. I do.
Oh, okay, there we go. So we got people streaming in right now. Gustavo, what's going on, Gustavo? Uh, Ray Ray Powell. Good evening, Gustavo. He's saying, "Guy, have photos in the house." So, guys, welcome. Today we're gonna talk all about the Nikon Z9 Auto Focus. What settings to shoot with when you're doing wildlife and birding. And by the way, Chuck is coming. He's eating dinner. He's running a little late, but he'll be here. Um, Fan of Mr. Chu, Gustavo says.
Yes, I see him in the comments all the time. Thank you, Gustavo. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I,
So,
I yeah, I'm gonna tell. If someone asks a question here, I'm just gonna talk because I can't have the two windows up in this little monitor that I'm on right now. So
oh yeah, no problem.
okay.
So you shoot birds, man. I'm dabbling in birds too. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer by trade, but I have a few long lenses and I
I
have
saw
the
you have the
Z9.
600,
Yeah, I have the 600 FL.
and you're not gonna
Uh,
switch to the new one.
no.
I I feel the same way. All
You have the lens I got.
yep, the E, right? FLE. Uh, no,
Yes.
to me, do I want the new one? Yes. Do I think it's going to be good? I mean, technology brings everything forward, but there's a cost behind that. So my 600 now does the job, but the new one is probably going to be excellent. It's a little lighter, and the built-in telly is definitely a bonus. Where right now you go out, and I don't use the telly because I have the 600 and I have the 800 5.6. So when I think something's in the range of far away 800, I'm going to bring the 800. But when I need light and things are I know going to be a little closer, then I bring the 600. But otherwise, the 600 with the TC is a real. It looks good.
I mean, look, if you were to ask me, would I trade my 600 FL for that lens? Yes. If it was like a fair, straight out trade, of course. However, there's a lot of cost involved in owning that lens.
That's I mean, yeah, I mean to trade it in, whatever you're going to get, and then go up to almost 16,000 or 15.5. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could do it. Hey, welcome in, Chuck. Chuck Talks is here. But I'm happy with my 600, and if I was doing this maybe professionally with long lenses, I'd probably consider it. But I think what we're getting with our 600 FLs I'm happy with it, and you have the same
I
lens,
agree.
so you
Yep,
can
I
you
agree.
can tell me that. But by the way, guys, if you're just joining us right now, Chuck is back. You guys know Chuck. This is Mr. Peanut Chu from Jersey, New
Out
Jersey.
in Jersey, yes.
Uh,
Chuck's a neighbor. I just have to go a little east and north.
that is true.
I'm right on the border of New York State.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm
Right at
only
the
about an
7 on the
hour.
north.
I'm about an hour north of the city.
Okay. So not far from me.
No, sir.
So so for those of you who don't know, Peanut has a YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do that. If you're a photographer, if you have the Z9, if you're a birder, if you want to learn how to shoot birding, you're very entertaining, Mr. Peanut. And the videos you make, I actually want to ask you some questions myself because I'm about to take my 600 and the Z9 out in a couple days to shoot some birds. So this talk is, I'm very interested in this talk because I want to ask you some questions. I saw that video clip that you made following those birds, and it was spectacular.
Thank you.
It
That was my
was
trailer. Yeah.
very, very good.
Thank you.
There he is. There he is.
Actually, Long Rider, I think he was the first person that actually watched one of my videos. And we have a mutual friend, Sam, that connected us, but he's one of my first supporters.
That's cool. Hello, Albert. Albert's in the house. Albert's the king of adapters. So if you're looking to adapt old to new cameras, he knows all about them. Touch Life, what's up, brother? Hey, I'm liking your Z9 videos. Yeah, he just made a Z9 versus, or not versus, but comparing it with the Z6 II. Good job, brother. Keep on going. So, for those of you who haven't heard of Peanut, like I said, go to his YouTube channel, check out his videos, subscribe to his channel, man. We want to grow this
Thank you.
community, So, Peanut Chu Adventures, and it's really some adventures. So, my first question to you is, how often do you go out?
Typically, for the whole year, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have a day job. It's every weekend, definitely Saturday and Sunday, but most of the year it includes what one of the perks of my jobs. I have every other Friday off. So every other Friday I have 3 full days, and starting, I would say, when it stays light till about 6:30, I get off at 4 o'clock. So I have 2.5 hours on the Friday part of the year. So what I'll do is Saturday, I'll go for sunrise. And
Yeah.
in the morning, around 10:30 is where the light is starting to get harsh. I'll take a lunch and then come back for the last 3 hours of the day. So I'll do that the Saturdays and Sundays. Most of
Wow.
the time, yeah.
So you get up in sunrise because that's the hardest thing I can
I'm
do.
there. I'm there when I like to get there when it's dark.
Yeah.
So it gives me time to go where I'm going to go or set up. So if sunrise is 7, I want to be there 6:45. But during the year when it's sunrise is 5:30, those are the early mornings. And typically now what I do is during that time, I go South Jersey. So it's like 2 hours away from me. So starting around April, I'm usually getting up around 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's where the sunrise and sunset are probably the best light, right?
The bird photography is just like people photography. You need that light. It's all about the light.
And plus, the birds are out in the morning.
That's true also. But when a bird's coming flying across, you need a directional light to actually light them up. Typically after 10 to 2, that period, especially during the spring, summer, and fall, when the light is stronger, it just doesn't. I never get anything good during those periods. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So that it's a good time for a lunch break.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. Chuck, what are you doing? Eating M&M?
Yes, sir. Of course. I just
Yeah,
wanted to say that I love your videos with your mom and dad, and I know Long Rider just talked about it. I think they're fantastic.
94 years old.
Wow.
And my father goes to me a couple of weeks ago. He goes, I need more lines. So I got to write in more lines.
yeah, those videos are cool. Your mom, your dad. That's very. It's funny. It's creative. You know, it keeps it light. You know, so I like that. John Ishii in the house. What's happening, John from Malaysia? Photojournalist. Uh, he has a sense of humor as well. What's up, John? Um, Vitali from Touch Life has a question. Can you guys explain the reason why the 600 millimeter lenses are so pricey? Isn't this just some glass and small motors? Uh, there. You want to tackle this, guys? Why they're so pricey?
Nikon has to make money and stay in business. But
Yeah.
I mean, do I like the glass, the long lenses? To me, you know, I have the 100 to 400 also. Is that sharp? Yes. But when I bring out the 600 or the 800, it's sharp, but it renders that background that's smooth. And that's what I like about it. Plus, the autofocus is a bit snappier, but that's why I like it.
Well, it's the quality of the glass. I mean, that's big glass elements in the 600, the 400, in the fast aperture super telephotos. And remember, we talked to Paul, or not Paul, but Mark from Paul's Camera, Vahagan, and he
Yes.
talked about it can take up to a year to build each lens. So, you know, I'm not going to say he's lying. I don't know, but if that's the case, then that's got to add to the cost and I think it has to do with making the glass, making the elements.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just harder to make. The elements are larger and more. You need to be more precise, and just takes a lot. And all these moving parts in there. But Jeff and Leslie Wildlife just subscribed. We'll have fun watching his vids out after the stream. Cool.
Thank you.
What's going on, Jeff and Leslie? Long Rider says Peanut makes photography fun again. Wonderful channel. Yeah, man. So when you go out, and I've noticed on your videos, you just have a good time with it, and I love that. I love it. It inspires me to go out. So
to me, it's all about having fun. Other people do for other reasons. Me, it's a good way for me to relax. Before photography, I played tennis for like 40 years. That was my way to relax. I would play 5 times a week, and that was my thing. But things changed. I caught the photography birding bug, and now I'm all in. Now I'm not playing tennis anymore. I don't have enough time.
So you have the 800. Is it the F mount or is it the Z mount?
No, the 5.6 F mount.
Oh, that big monster.
Yep. It's 10 and a half pounds. I did put my order in for the 6.3 about 6 weeks ago. Still waiting, but I did order that one just because sometimes you want to walk further and carry, and sometimes it's just easy when you go out, just something lighter. So I did order it, and I hear that's a good lens.
Yeah, it is. Albert Jimenez, he's driving home from work. He's saying this stream is better than listening to the radio. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Albert. He's from your part of the world too, I think, right? Where's Albert from, Chuck?
Albert's down just north of the city.
Nice. So, yeah, man, there's so much to learn with the Z9. How are you liking the camera so far?
Well, I'll give you my history. of what I was using before. So before this, I was using D6, and before that, 850. I had a 610 before that. So about 2 years, I did a little video with the D6 on a snowy owl, but with the video, there wasn't you couldn't track. It was just a static picture. If he moved a little, it would become blurry. So at that point, I said, I'm going to try to get into videos. But when the Z9 came about, I was waiting because I knew Sony and Canon, they had video tracking. So with my D6, I couldn't do that. But I said, I'm going to wait. And when the Z9 came about, to me, that was just a huge game changer in the video side. Now there's tracking. So I could get birds in flight. I could get action. So to me, like my last video, I'm loving it.
Nice. Hey, by the way, before we get into the Z9 and autofocus, which we will, I'm going to take notes as well. Give me the history of your name. Is your name Peanut?
No. I'm going to give a long story short. My name is Steve, but my wife was watching this video about a monkey who had one arm. It was a nature program, one arm. And he was struggling. But at the end, he thrived and he was a survivor. And so my wife says, "That's you. I'm going to name you Peanut." So that stayed with me that's probably about 5 years. So when this channel came about, I said, what should be our name? And she's like, Peanut Chu. So that's the history in a nutshell. I'm going to wake up a little here with a little power drink.
Yeah.
Here's to you.
Here's to you, Chu. So the question for you: do you ever watch our live streams, or have you seen Chuck's talks?
Yeah, I'm working during the day, so I do want to get a break. Sometimes you guys have a long session, sometimes 3 or 4 hours.
Not me, Chuck does.
Yeah, I'll come in, watch 15 minutes or so, but I'm, it's during a break, so I really can't get too heavily involved.
Right. And that's okay. And that's one of the reasons that the stream's up for so long. Well, people just come in and go on to do other things or whatever. And we have a good time. So I catch some flack for it being so long from some people, though.
No, but I love what you're doing. It's a great community show that you're doing, a lot of knowledge transfer. And I think you're doing a great channel there. And the Saturdays, you do 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, I'm usually in my bed.
Well, I would say you are after getting up so early. I understand.
So after shooting, so you're shooting almost every weekend. You're out every weekend.
I have not. Yeah, I haven't missed a weekend since the birding I've been doing for 6 years. I haven't missed one weekend in the 6 years. Yep.
That's dedication, man. Does your wife shoot with you, or?
My wife does shoot. She has a Z9 also. She uses
what?
She has a Z9. She used the 100 to 400 lens. She likes something smaller. Plus, we have to carry it.
You remind me of a guy named photographer. He comes on these shows too, Mr. Moots.
Yeah,
he has
I communicate with him.
Oh, okay, his wife is
D
Moots, and here, John Ishii. His wife also shoots with him, but John Ishii's got his wife's all into the high end Hasselblads and Leicas and all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't afford that. But I'll tell you a quick story on how that came about. So when I got my Z9 in January, for the last year prior, I got my wife involved because she looked at that snowy owl video and that turned her on to the birding. Before she would come but not be involved, but that turned her on where she wanted to put a video together. So she actually learned the final cut for me. She learned it and she gave me the Cliff Notes version so I could start going with it. But during that time, I said, I need someone to do video. So what I actually bought, because Nikon didn't have a video camera really, is I bought a Canon 4K camcorder. And actually my first few videos are using a camcorder. So I was really waiting for that Z9, because if the Z9 didn't come about and it didn't materialize, I probably would have went to Sony or Canon, just because I want to do video. So when it came and it worked fine, it brought me back. It brought me back.
That's cool, man. No, keep going, man. I love the fact that your significant other shoots with you too. So that's a big help. You know, you
She
could
doesn't
stay
go
out
out.
there the whole day.
Yeah, she doesn't go out. No, she doesn't go out all the time. Sometimes she doesn't go out for the morning. So if I'm like within an hour's drive, I drive back, pick her up, and then we go out for the second afternoon session. So I'm putting a lot of miles on the car. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite place to go around your area? Is there a specific spot you hit up?
Yeah, yeah. There's each season or has a different place where I do go. I like South Jersey for during the springtime. There's a lot of ospreys down there, and for me, it's besides seeing the bird, I want to see them. For the YouTube, I need certain backgrounds. I need certain light. So a lot of times, where other people, if other people there, they're standing somewhere else, and I'm standing somewhere else, because they're not caring about the light as I do. I only want to put on my channel things that I think are the best that I have. So a lot of times I'll be in positions where I don't get a lot of action, but when I do get something, it's the best I can get.
Oh yeah. Hey, Joe Man's Land from Canada. We got Epic Dream from the UK. Welcome, Epic Dream. We'll see how it goes. Chuck, we might open the phone lines little later. Is that okay? Chuck's the man. He's busy with the M&Ms. So
yeah, I guess you didn't hear me. I said, "Yep, the phone's ready."
All right, awesome.
It's pretty cool how you guys are nice and calm and used to this. No, this is my first live stream, and I didn't. Thinking about this, I didn't sleep well last night. And
really?
Well, no, I don't want to come on here and be, oh, this guy looks like a fool.
Oh man, you're doing a great job.
No, this is just a chat. This is just getting it. A bunch of photographers sitting around a table. We have to do it over the computer because we're all over the world, but sitting around the table, just having a conversation.
Yeah, because when Vahagan sent me an email, I thought we were just going to do like talk one-on-one. But then when he said live stream, that's when the nerves kicked in a little.
You're doing good, man. You're doing good. Like Chuck says, this is just, we're just, a few photographers here. I mean, a few. We got, there are almost 26-7 people in the chat too, but we're just having a good time, man. And it's an honor to have you, because
thank you.
We like your videos. I'm going to ask you about the way you shoot video real quick.
Okay.
What is your go-to when you're doing with something with the long lens? Well, first of all, where do you have this lens mounted? How do you track the birds? Are you using a gimbal?
Yep. I use Really Right Stuff tripod, a Series 3. No, to me, for a video especially, I need it stable. So I'm using that on a Wimberley gimbal. So that's what I used when I was doing just stills. So I got used to tracking with the gimbal. Now, some people will use the video head, and my wife actually uses a Manfrotto video head. I prefer the gimbal. It's just easier for me.
Well, the fluid head is great for video, but you can't beat the speed of the Wimberley gimbal head. Well, any gimbal head like that. But when you got a fluid head, it's hard to pan real quick following a bird and pan and up and down and everything else. And I know a lot of people still use it though.
Yeah. What I do when I did use on the 100 to 400, I put it on the video head. It won't balance properly on. It's too back heavy.
Yeah.
For the Wimberley. So I used the video head, and what I do is I completely loosen up everything, so just completely loose.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the Wimberley though, but the video head, if I do it that way, I unlock everything and balance it.
You also have something else that's really important, and I left a question on one of your videos, a question and a comment, and you answered. For these big tripods, man, they'll tear your shoulder up all day moving around. Oh,
am I frozen?
Yep, you're frozen, but we have audio. It'll come back. Your video will come back, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to say, you have that shoulder pad, and that was the question I asked, and you actually mentioned it in another video, and I appreciate that. Man, that thing is nice.
Yeah, it's made for construction, but now on the website it's construction and photography. Yeah, so yeah, it really takes the brunt of my collarbone not being broken. Yeah,
Do
Should I
this,
refresh my
Peanut.
screen somehow?
Peanut, do this.
Yeah.
Stop your video and start it up again. Not your
Okay.
camera, but your stream. Like, try to do like stop cam and start cam. Yeah, he froze. He's coming back.
Yep.
And this is such insightful knowledge. I have a lot of questions, Chuck, because my autofocus questions coming up. This is legendary Vahagan channel hosting. Hey, Maxim, glad you could be here. Glad you're here, and glad you're enjoying this, man. You know.
Yeah, Maxim. You know, I didn't want to tell anybody, but I'll let the cat out of the bag now. You asked about the Z8. I've had it for about 2 months now, and working with it. It's not the production body, but it's pre-production.
Oh, you're still frozen.
But you hear me now, right?
Yeah,
we hear you. Yeah.
Oh, how come I'm coming in? That was like an old picture.
Maybe try turning off the on and off the camera.
Oh, the camera? Okay.
Yeah, maybe that'll work. Let's see. So yeah, guys, Mozman in the house. Mozman, I haven't seen you in a while, Moz. Yeah, we got 247 in the house too. Let's go like this. See if you gotta love live streams, like Chuck says. You know. Yeah, Maxim, enjoy the show. Just we're getting some technical difficulties here with the Nikon, probably or computer software. Yeah, Jeffrey, selective imagery. What's happening, man? What is happening? This is a Vahagraphy Talk on a special time. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Webcam utility 1.1.0. So yeah, guys, while he sorts this out, check out. I just opened up a Facebook group, guys. First time. Join that group if you're on Facebook. It's called Nikon Nation. Beginners and pros. So check that out, guys. I just started it. I think here is the link to the Facebook group called Nikon Nation. So if you're on Facebook, check that out.
Yeah, guys, go check that out. And when you join, he sends you a free CF Express card. I'm waiting for mine now.
He's just joking. Yeah. Welcome back.
You know what happened? I look in the back of my camera, and you know it has the monitor on the back.
The timer on the monitor.
It was black. So somehow something froze up on the camera.
Oh, what you can do is what I do is when I stream, I turn off the monitor. I turn the monitor off, and I do it so it's viewfinder only.
You know what probably happened? I probably had to stand by.
Yep.
Yeah, the timer. I set it to infinity.
Yeah, I did.
Timer lock.
I haven't done that. You know what?
Go ahead and do that. It's gonna do it again. You know where it's at, right? What part of the menus?
Yeah.
Hey, Maxim, you can join our conversations or channels if you shoot pinhole cameras. It doesn't matter, man.
Yeah. Let's see. What is he saying?
No, I'm in the wrong place here. Oh, power delay off, right?
Long Rider. Yes. Tell Nikon hurry up with the new D500, and I'm there. Chuck Z8 will have an M&M dispenser built in.
Well, Mozman said something earlier about tripods, holding a lot of M&Ms. But when you think about it, they make great weight bags. Well, for a while, to steady your tripod, to hang off the tripod.
Amar 247 Peanut. What's up, brother? He's from your neck of the woods too, DC. I don't know if you ever got to see me and Moz shoot. We go out with my 600 and his.
I was watching something today.
We do 400 comparison, 4.5, and that's Mozman, by the way.
Hmm.
The long-haired rock and roll looking photographer. Mozman. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching I think I saw you with him on one of your recent ones.
We haven't been out in a while, but yeah. So yeah, man, we got a lot of wildlife. And Greg Wilson Nature Photography. What's going on? You're frozen, but still look great. Oh, that was back then. What's up, Greg? With all these long lenses, how do you carry them all without a? Yeah, man, that's a good question. So, what do you do when you're out? Okay, do you leave some in the car? Do you select the lens to take for the day? How does it work?
For that location, I'm going with what I think is going to be the best lens. So
Okay.
if it's, I think things are going to be at a distance, I'm going to bring the 800. Most of the year, I'm using the 800. Up in Jersey, in this area, most of the things are a good distance away at the places where I'm going. In the summer, there's a place where it's a little more enclosed. There, I'll bring a 600. But yeah, I don't leave anything in the car unattended.
So yeah, that'd be smart because some of the spots you hit up is quite distance away from your automobile. I'm assuming.
Yeah. A lot of times I'll just take what I'm taking, and I don't see the car anymore. So if someone breaks in, it'll all be gone. So the one thing I suggest when you're carrying all of gear and valuables, insure it. I mean, insurance is valuable, just so you have that peace of mind if someone steals it, or you never know, someone comes up, you never know what you run into. So if it's gone and you let it go, and if you have insurance, you get another one.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's your favorite lens, man, right now to shoot with?
My go-to is the 800 5.6.
Okay. The top of the line.
Only because it gives me that a little extra distance, and that's what I like most of the year. But there are certain places where I did a barred owl video, and there you walk on a boardwalk, but it's covered by trees. So there I like the 600 just because it's a little closer and the light. There I could go down to f4, and with 800 5.6, I could reduce my ISO by half. Yeah,
cool. So do you own a 500 PF?
I do.
Oh man, gotta love shooters, man.
Now with I don't use it that much, but so what I'm going to do is when I do get the 800 6.3, I am going to trade that in. I'm not getting a lot of usage out of it. It's practically new.
If you know what, can I call you Peanut or Steve? I would.
Both
Peanut.
work. Both
right.
work.
Peanut. You know what? Before you do that, you might want to check back with us because trading it in will not get you a lot of money. You know that. But if you're ready to sell something, let us know, man. We'll promote. Like D-Moots was selling a 400Z. with the TC,
Hmm.
the new one. Yeah, he was selling one, and I just made a video, and I just 30 seconds plugged it in because I was talking about that lens. I'm like, hey, by the way, my friend is selling a Z400. Anybody's interested? That's a hard lens to get right now. Let me know. Sure enough, the next morning, somebody emailed me. Hey, man, just saw your video on that lens. Can you send this guy a message? I want it. He turned out to be a pro photographer from Las Vegas, shooting Raiders and sports. So I was like, wow, you never know who's watching my channel, my streams, and my videos. So that was cool. Number one. Number two, that's Ronald Pollard's friend. So the first thing I do if I have a question like that, or if I'm trying to sell something, is I look the name up and look their for Facebook profiles, this and that. So anyway, they hooked up and he sold the lens the next day. The guy has the lens already. The video was out like 4 days ago. So I was happy to be a part of that, man. But I mean, it's anything to help out. So yeah, if you're ready, if you want to sell something, just let us know, man.
Okay, great. Sounds great.
Because trading it in is not.
Yeah.
KEH is a cool service, but
what I go to a store locally here called Unique Photo. So yeah, I've traded in quite a few things there. So it just I always fear that I sell it to a person, and if there's a problem with it, it always comes back to you a little.
Yeah.
When you sell to a store, it's gone, right?
Oh, meaning like, hey man, this is a problem. Why didn't you tell me that? You mean that way?
That way. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing with that. Like, I have like everybody that we know on the stream, and they're pretty trustworthy. So it's like FaceTime with the person. Here's the lens, check it out inside and out, and yeah. But I know what you're saying. You don't want to deal with like.
Well, it's and you kind of like, if they don't like it, you kind of feel bad. You know what I mean? It's like, is it my fault? I don't know.
Yeah,
but this lens I hardly used. Other things I traded in I've used, but this, like this lens, I probably used it maybe 15 times in the 3 years, or how many years? I think 3 years I had it, or something like that. Yeah.
247 Amar says, Peanut, we got to get you to Conowingo.
Yes, and I was planning to go next week, but one of my buddies who's been doing birdie for 30 years, he says it's too early. It's been too warm. Don't go yet. Go wait another month. So, but I definitely want to go down there. It's that's the place for eagles.
Yeah, we saw that, but Amar was supposed to do a full-on live stream, and he didn't.
When are we going to get you to the East Coast?
I don't know, man. That's a good question because I haven't been there in a while. But if I do go, I want to go to New York, and I love the city over there.
Well, you got a lot of people over here to hook up with for birding. We want you to catch the fire of birding.
Definitely. The only thing is, if I go out to the east, I gotta take my long lenses with me, and I kind of don't want to do that. So, well, I might hook up with you, and you bring them. I'll just bring my camera body.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. You got a 600. You got a 800. So we'll have some fun.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Can I join if I only shoot Nikon S rangefinder and bodies? What's that, man? So Mosman asked, I have a question. If anyone else has done a live stream with multiple video sources, my Nikon webcam utility wouldn't show a feed after a while, so switching. I have no idea, Moz, but maybe someone in the chat can help you. So talk to me about. Oh, here we go. Greg Wilson, in honor of Peanut, I stopped for
like
some peanuts to eat. Yeah. So here, John Ishii, so refreshing, Vahagan, to have a new Nikon. Yeah, man, join it. We're gonna have some fun there. So video settings for Z9. What do you usually like to shoot? What AF mode?
Birds in flight action, wide L is what I like.
So wide L, like the big square.
The big rectangle.
The big rectangle.
Yeah, I like that. And especially now, I think the firmware updates really made it better. But birds in flight, I want to keep them for video. I want to keep it centered. No, once you move back and forth or up and down and you bring it back, it just doesn't work in video if it doesn't stay kind of centered. And you don't want to go forward and back. So I like to keep it in that rectangle. And now the autofocus is working really well, especially if it's not a cluttered background. When you say it's over some a bird's flying down over reeds, it really focuses in well, especially when there's the backgrounds are not right up against the bird. And I like that autofocus for bird flight action.
For video, the wide L.
Video. Yeah,
hey, by the way, this is what I said in the beginning before we got live. That's what I told you. I thought you were wearing an alpha shirt. Selective imagery his name's Jeffrey.
Yeah. I know
you've seen his stuff?
Oh yeah, he does good work. Yeah, all right. I like his videos. Relaxing in the morning, especially. I like
exactly. It's therapy with a cup of coffee. I love this videos.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool, man. I love it that you guys all kind of know each other through YouTube.
Yeah.
So by the way, guys, if you're just joining us, this is Peanut Chu's first live stream ever. So
first one.
He has a YouTube channel. If you're a birder, if you're a photographer, if you love the Z9, he has it all. And he does videos, he does photography, wildlife, birds. It's mostly birds, right? It's not real wildlife, or do you do wildlife?
I'll take anything I get, but birds are the majority because that's what's available usually around this neck of the woods. But I like to go to Florida. I've been to Ohio for the warbler migration. So I do like to travel around, but primarily New Jersey, New York area is where I'm located.
Greg, he went over that in the beginning of the stream, how he got his name.
I'll give him the quick. Yeah. Sure. Peanut came about because my wife saw a video nature with a monkey with one arm, and his name was Peanut. And at the end, he was really thriving, and my wife named me that. Why, I don't know. Maybe she thought I was disabled.
Oh, there we go. Long way to answer.
And I survived.
Yeah, that's cool.
But getting back to the wide L, I see some other people doing reviews, and they'll use everyone has their own way to do things. I do things a certain way, but there's no right or wrong as long as you get to the end goal. And I see some people using the 3D, or I think 3D in flight. I've seen some people on YouTube. To me, the 3D, I can't seem to get the initial focus right away all the time. So the wide L puts the control in my hands. If I could get him in there, and in video, it's on AFF, so it's full time, but I'll hit the AF on button to make that focus instantaneous. And I'll hit it, I'll hold it down quick and release it super quick. And then it'll get the white, I'm saying white, the small focus box that attaches, it locks on. So I'll do that until I get a lock on. But
wait a minute, is this for video?
For video, yep.
For video, okay, because photography we're gonna get to. Man, I'm so far behind. Hey Chuck, if you see a question, can you just cut in real quick?
Yeah.
If you see someone asking a question.
Peter Swara and Long Rider just dropped you a super chat there.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate that. It's great. I never ask for anything. I mean, I feel weird asking for it, but that's great, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep, that's right. McGee Marsh. That's where I went.
Was that?
I'm looking at Jeff and Leslie. Yeah. So I went and I'm sure they know. I went. Biggest week. I went the week after the biggest week, but I was there of the biggest week at the end. I could not get onto the boardwalk. It was so crowded. It was packed. But the week after was okay. And actually, when I was there, I was shooting right next to Moose Peterson.
Right
next
to him. You saw him?
Yeah, we were right next to each other. And, we chatted a little. Yep.
That's cool,
That's
man.
great, man. Hey, Peanut, just so you know, you can watch the chat too, and by all means, you see questions or comments you want to address, jump on it.
Yep.
Hey,
That's what I'm gonna do.
hey, Epic, is that a fun? Never, never. Okay, I know you're trying to be funny with that comment. That's like defeating the whole purpose of the knocked. He's like, put some teleconverters on the knock. I just bought a 58.95 knocked and for the Z mount, and he's like, put teleconverters on it. No way.
Well, Vahagraphy, I give you a quick story why I always preface that, this is the way I do things, and everyone does it their way, because you say something and you offend somebody. And I'm going to give you a quick example. I was out shooting, and I was talking to a guy I met there, and he was telling me, yeah, I have the D850, the D500, and he was like, I like the D850 because of this is. So, I'm listening. So he's like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to my car. He goes to his car, and I see him talking to a woman. He comes back to me. He goes, that woman just reamed me out. I'm like, what happened? He said she likes the D500, and I insulted her. She overheard us, what he was telling me, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, I'm lucky, but I didn't say anything. But from there on, I'm like, I don't talk about anyone's equipment.
Hey, I have a question for you. When you met me, Moose, do you introduce yourself as Peanut or Steve?
No, I wasn't Peanut then.
Okay.
This is McGee. Well, maybe I was Peanut, but not, YouTube Peanut. I was just my wife's Peanut. But
Okay.
yeah, I did talk to Moose, and he gave me a few tips that the one thing that I said to him, I said, no, I'm starting to do contests, because my wife went up to him and said, when I started with this Kelby 1, the Kelby 1 training. So I how many years ago was this? Maybe like 8 years ago. I was using the 610. I was taking pictures of people. I didn't really know what I wanted to shoot yet. Mm-hmm. So, at that time I wanted to learn Photoshop. So I went on the Kelby 1. Then there I saw Moose Peterson. He had all these videos. So my wife goes up to Moose and says, no, my husband he follows everything you're doing, and he thinks you're great. So when I started to talk to him, I said, yeah, I follow everything. I said, no, you told me, no, don't crop. That was one of his things. You don't need to crop. And I told him I followed that for a couple of years, no cropping. But I said to him, I'm starting to enter these contests, and I'm starting to crop because everyone else is.
Yeah. And
he looks at me and says, you don't need to crop. And that was it. He didn't talk to me anymore after that.
We just talked about it the other day. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
His crop rule.
Yeah, he has a no crop rule.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Mossman, 3D is tricky in flight. It's a good way to miss shots. Let's tackle this for a quick 2 minutes. So when you're doing still photography, what do you think of 3D on the Z9? Do you use it?
Okay. Since I got the Z9 in January, I've been doing 99.9% video.
Oh, wow.
Pictures, I'm only doing after I get video. So I'm really gearing it for the YouTube. And I found video to be, it's new now. No, it's new to me.
Yeah.
It's something I'm learning every day. From when I started in January, I noticed I got much better with video. So I'm still learning, and it's still fun to me. So I really can't comment on the picture side as much. I only took some pictures. So I'm mainly doing video with the Z9 now.
Okay, good. You know what? You need to promote that, because that's one of the things we talk about constantly, is the fact that this thing is a video monster, and people are using the video, but there's not a lot of discussion about it, and it really needs to be showcased. Are you shooting 4K? Have you tried 8K, or what are you mainly shooting?
4K 120. I want the 120 works well with slow motion.
Yep.
And with the birds, they move so rapidly
Yeah.
that in order to see detail, you have to slow it down somewhat. Like the birds in flight, you slow it. I'll slow it down in software, in Final Cut, between 25 and 50% for it to look kind of normal where you see detail.
Okay.
So with the 120 frames, you can do that where it's smooth.
So you're not shooting
the
in
8K is
raw.
only running at the 60.
Yeah.
And plus the 8K at 60s, I think a 512 card is only giving you like 20 minutes on a 512 card.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wondered.
Yeah, 4K 120 is what I'm doing.
10 bit. 10 bit.
Yeah, 10 bit. I'm using the H265.
Okay.
Yeah. So when people want to learn, and what I'm working on now is I'm actually writing the scripts now I did a video, about a 30-minute video on how to make a video, but I think it was too long. So people got bored of all the steps, but I'm going to do short ones, say 3 to 5 minutes on each single point of each control. So there, you can watch it easily without having to watch 30 minutes. But yeah, so I'll go over all the settings that I use there. Yeah. So
question though, real quick. So you're shooting 4K 120. Where's your shutter speed around?
Shutter speed 2 times frame rate.
So about 250th.
250. So at 250, this gives you great opportunity for early morning, late, because you're only running 250 shutter.
Yeah.
But you can pretty much shoot wide open without a ND filter, right?
I never use ND filters. Yeah.
So where's your f-stop usually?
I usually go wide open unless, say, there's two birds.
Too much light too.
Yeah, but early morning. Well, I'll shoot auto ISO, manual auto ISO. So.
Oh, yeah, but okay, you're at 64 probably. Sometimes.
Yeah, and what I'll do is
4K 120 eats up a lot of light, and then at f2 at 250th of a second, I got to believe that is cutting a lot of light, so it's got to be a lot.
No, man, I'm telling you, Chuck, when you're doing video and when you're shooting like an f4 lens, you need NDs if you're shooting like. But if you're right, if it's sunrise, like
for the first few hours, you're pretty good. But what I'll do with auto ISO is I'll do exposure compensation to bring out some of the light.
Okay.
Yep.
So auto ISO 250th of a second, 4K 120.
Yeah. So how I control the light is I'll put on the exposure blinkies. So if there's too much white, you'll see the blinking. I'll just reduce the exposure compensation until that goes away.
That's so interesting because your results on video, man. And then I have a question because that video, that trailer, I've never seen somebody shoot bird video that clean. Even from Nikon, it was good. It's the best probably I've ever seen.
Appreciate that.
I'm serious. But I have a Final Cut question for you. But Barry says, "Aloha, Peanut. Are you going to implement the new Nikon Z9 remote in your video shoots? I am personally extremely excited that this is a game changer. I have recently licensed to Netflix, HBO, and ESPN."
The remote?
Yeah, are you going to use that?
I didn't think about it. Probably not. I'd like my hands on the controls. I don't know.
Yeah. If you're doing events, maybe not birding, because they're so like, right? I mean,
I need to move the camera. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Roy Bigsby's asking about a polarizer. Do you use a circular polarizer in your lenses? That's an expensive accessory for that drop in. Okay.
Yeah, because the 600Z, I mean, the 600 FL has a 40.5 drop-ins.
Yeah, the 800 has the drop-in also.
So is the 800 and the 600, are the filter sizes the same?
I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. I don't use it, so I don't know.
Okay, you don't change filters. Okay, I got it. So I'm just wondering if this tray is the same as well.
It is the same pull-out. Yeah, the knob you push turn
Okay.
it, and do you push it down or
Mm.
yeah.
You know, I have the circular polarizer for the FL. I have that tray with the
Mm.
little wheel,
Yep.
So you
which is
can,
kind of cool. I have that thing. It's like $300, man, if you lose it. So, as far as like any kind of like settings for video, do you put like zebra patterns or anything like that?
Yeah, I
Or
put the zebra pattern, and if I see the overexposure, I'll use exposure compensation to reduce the light.
okay. So your video setting is 10-bit 265. You're not going crazy with like raw or
Yeah,
internal.
I mean, for someone who wants to get into video, that 4K 120 and the amount of video that you're getting, the first time I brought it back, and I was using H.265 8-bit, and I could replay it on QuickTime in my Mac, no problem. But once I went to 10-bit, I tried to play it back on my MacBook Pro. It would stutter. It would
yeah.
freeze and stutter just going to 10-bit. So and to get the Final Cut to try to do anything, I had a 2016 MacBook Pro. This thing was not cutting it. So
Yeah.
now, a few months ago, I got the Mac Studio,
Oh yeah.
and that works much better.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I know the H.265 is compressed, but to me, I've been using it. It looks good. I haven't gone to RAW and
And all those other
ProRes. I haven't done
ProRes and
that.
all that internal 12-bit and all these other N-Log.
I haven't done it. Yeah.
Let me
I,
ask you a question.
I played with ProRes and it's beautiful, but
Mm.
yeah, it's very data excessive, man. I mean, it's eating data or filling the card up quick. Go ahead, Vahagan. I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
no,
off.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was just gonna say when you're slow-moing in Final Cut, do you just slow it down to about 25% and that's all you do, or do you select the little features that you have?
No, that's
You just slow it down. That's all you do.
yeah. I know
Okay.
there's other things to smooth and things like that.
Smoothing the frames between frames.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, you don't do that.
You know what it is? When you just slow it down, it looks natural. But once you start doing other things,
Yeah.
I notice you start seeing some weirdness to it.
Mm.
And especially like Birds in Flight, what I'll do is slow it down and put a little stability in Final Cut. And
Okay.
with the stability in Final Cut, when you stabilize it, the thing has to be pretty stable as it is. If it's a little erratic, it gets warped and it doesn't look right. It's only for like minor movements that it'll take out. But anything that's like forward or back, it'll get some skipping in there when it tries to stabilize.
Mm.
So the footage needs to be pretty clean, and like stabilization on the software doesn't. It helps minorly. Yeah.
Do you do you get do you do any grading, or do you get it right on camera?
I try to get it right in camera,
Okay.
but I'll use Final Cut color wheels. That's it.
Okay.
I won't
Okay.
use the third-party products,
Uh-huh.
but
Wh-
the color wheel, I'll just give it a little exposure, maybe a little color, a little
What ab-
temperature.
what
That's
about
it.
when you're shooting? What picture profile?
I just use what am I using?
There's standard, there's NL, there's flat, there's
I'm using auto natural light.
auto natural light.
Yeah.
What about your white balance? Where's that at?
The
Usually
white balance, I'm just using, what am I using for the white balance?
auto, maybe sun,
Yeah,
depending
no,
if there's
just the
sun.
auto. Just yeah, I don't even change that. Just
So
auto.
you don't dial in the kelvins or anything like that.
Oh no.
Hmm.
I'm
That's
just
cool.
giving me what the camera's giving back naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting to know.
Mozman was curious about what kind of cards you're using, Peanut.
Delkin Black. Now, I used the SanDisk, but the SanDisk, I noticed I got this hot card quite a few times, and when those are the cards I bought initially were the SanDisk. So I got 2 SanDisk cards, but then I noticed after the winter, I started to get do more video where say it was like 10 minutes of video. All of a sudden, this hot card would come up, and you couldn't use it anymore. But I had 2 cards, so I'll flip them. But I don't use those are backups now. So I use the Delkin Black. I've never got a hot card. So with the SanDisk in those 3 months, I think it came up about 4 times. So I also have an old Delkin Power card, and that one's a slower card, but that one also I have not got I didn't receive a hot card, but I like the Delkin Blacks. Even with the shooting side, the buffer is pretty large.
Yeah.
With my 512 gigabyte card, I get about over 2 hours of video.
Yeah, it's 2 hours
with even shooting 8K, 10-bit regular. No all these other fancy modes. 10-bit, 265. Greg asked, does Peanut only use Z9s now?
I sold my D6 and D850 after I used the video on this. I said I'm not going to use these probably again, and I got lucky because at the time I sold my D6 back to the store for, I think they gave me $3,800 in January or February. But then when I looked recently, I think it was down to like $1,800.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you got rid of all your DSLRs.
Yeah.
You still have any other cameras or just the Z9s?
Nope. That's it.
Well, you think Nikon should come out with the cinema camera?
Say again. I didn't hear that.
You think Nikon should come out with a cinema camera, like a dedicated?
Maybe for them it would be good. For money.
I know you're happy with the Z9.
Well, I like the hybrid style that I could shoot also.
Yeah. No, for you, for me, for Chuck, for everybody, the hybrid camera is great. I was just thinking about more of like the market and the video shooters out there that just want to do like cinema, but don't want to spend Z9 money, and they want like a Sony FX3 kind of caliber camera for 3,000-4,000.
What about like the other cameras that they have? They could use those for cinema too, right?
Which cameras? The Sony ones?
No, the Nikon, the Z50,
Z6. Yeah, and they can, but those are not dedicated video. Even the Z9 isn't, but the Z9 has such amazing video features that it's not really talked about that much. A lot of my video friend shooters don't even know about what the Z9 has, and that's a marketing issue and stuff like that. But so Bio Josh, right?
Yeah, he does good. He does great stuff. Yeah,
Bio Josh, yeah. He was all into the mic setup, the audio, and getting the audio and taking recorders with them and miking up the sound. Do you do any of that, or it's just video? You just pick up like the audio?
The video, yeah. I take it out and put music and do voiceover.
Okay.
I think where I go, I don't know if I would get clean sound. One of my favorite places that I go is under an overpass.
Oh, wow.
So when I tried to start doing video, I had this GoPro, and my wife's holding it. We take it back. All I hear is the road, the cars going above me. I'm like, oh, I guess I need microphones. I'm like, this is terrible.
Can I comment on this? I don't know if I'm anti-crop if I'm shooting birds, man. I don't know why people are so obsessed with cropping or not cropping. I mean, you crop. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Especially now at 45 megapixels, you can crop so much. When you were at a camera of 20 meg, like when I was using D6, you really couldn't crop too much before you start losing some quality. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm okay with it. You know, you got to crop, you got to crop. It's not really a big deal. But yeah, man. s- I don't know. I want to ask you a question. Since you're on YouTube, do you follow like any of like the trending topics
I
of the
watch you guys.
Nikon?
Yeah, I get all my information from you guys. I get the latest and greatest.
So
Do
you
you?
seen
And the
Chuck's
Z8,
rant?
yeah, I saw the rant. Yeah,
Oh
that,
man,
the rant was like it was on the spur of the moment. I remember.
yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
Chuck. I need a rant right now. I need to get 20 more viewers on this live.
Well, Gray's put out a new video today. Did you watch that? Do you watch Gray's of Westminster?
I have seen. Yeah, I have seen
Okay,
some. Not today's
they,
though.
okay. They put out a new video today. It's interesting. It's all about the Z8 and Z50, and I don't know, quite a bit about gear talk and the Z8 coming and what everybody expects, wants, and whatever. So there you
Ah,
go.
who gives a crop?
Yeah.
There you go.
Moz man. Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, you know what? It was Chuck. Your rants are classic. You know, but but that's great, man. You know, I feel good that you watch our channels and you know you get some of the. So what
I
I'm
don't
trying.
usually comment. I'm the silent behind the scenes. I watch, get all the info.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, no, it's great. So what's next for you? Like in the future, like what are you trying? How? Oh, by the way, before you answer that, do you ever come out to the West Coast? Have you been here to the West?
I've been to California quite a few times, but not recently.
Okay.
Actually, I would say, what was it? Maybe like 7 years ago, I came out and took some classes on landscapes with someone in San Francisco. And he had access to the park where you could go right down to the water. So we got some moon uh, behind the bridge and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I went down to La Jolla and I worked with someone there, also landscapes at that time.
Are you familiar with any cool locations to hit up in Southern California for me? Like, cause I know Bolsa Chica wetlands, which
I
is
don't know. I
I
haven't done
know.
any birding out there, so I don't
Oh, okay, okay,
know.
okay. I know Irvine plays me and Moz go all the time. With it's like a what is it called, Moz? It's a bird something. You know the beach is cool. I got to go out to Yosemite. It looks like, or maybe something crazy
Yellowstone.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So that's cool, man. Hey, man, it's an adrenaline rush, man. When you capture a wild animal,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, in the wild with and you get a good shot at of the animal. Like, isn't that like the ultimate rush that you got the shot? You know.
Especially when you're waiting for a month and you didn't get anything, and then something comes for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and you get something. It's worth it, especially
Mm.
when you're freezing your butt off in December or January, and you don't get anything, which
Mm.
happens quite often. Quite often.
Do you? What do you think when you hear about people trashing the Z9 online? Do you even give that? You know, do you get mad or do you even listen or no? You
You
just
know,
do your thing.
no, no, no. For me, I just want something that works. I like being the creativity of going out, and basically it all stems from I like going out, and I like photography and video. I like it. It's new to me, and it's a way to show creativity.
Hmm.
So if something works and someone trashes it, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it works for me. If someone trashes it, it doesn't work for them. I mean, a photographer has to feel like they're a one with their camera. If they don't like the way it works and they like Sony I mean, to each his own.
Yeah.
For me, this is working now. I'm enjoying it.
What's your favorite epic dream? Ask, hey Peanut, what's your favorite bird to shoot and capture right now?
Everyone loves owls, but to me, it's I like to capture different expressions of birds and the personality. Not necessarily always the bird makes it, but it's like a person. You see a person, but when they make that expression or do something different, that's what I'm looking for something different,
Yeah.
which is hard to get.
Yeah, because now you see you're doing video, so video is different. You
Yeah,
want to capture them doing something.
yeah. You try and tell a
Yeah,
story.
yeah. Like
So
Jeffrey the other day, like one of his videos, he captures these, I think, ospreys feeding their,
yeah.
little chickies in there in the nest,
Mm.
and that was cool. Something like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Jeffrey makes a point here. Um, Greg says, "Peanut, how's your mom and dad doing? Love them in your videos." um, I have a question here, Knifer. I have a question. Do you recommend an FTZ adapter? I like 200 millimeter f2 or 300 2.8. That doesn't exist in the Z lineup. So, do you recommend somebody shooting with an FTZ? I've shot with an FTZ with the 200 f2. I got a 300 2.8 result, and it's great. But I think you get a better deal on a 300 2.8 straight up. So, um, do you recommend a FTZ
300
adapter?
to, well, with all the lengths, it's really what you're going to shoot, right? It's uh, when people ask, "Oh, what lens should I get?" And what do you typically shoot? Is it the length can be 400, 600, 800? And you know, it's really what your subjects and how far they are. Like to me, um, you know, uh, my go-to is always the 800, typically where I am, unless there are things closer. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you just to answer Nifer's question a little more with my opinion, you would be totally content using an FTZ adapter with these lenses that you mentioned. They work well. The 300 2.8 will work amazingly. The 400 2.8, I own that lens, the G version, and it works great with the FTZ. And the FL 600s, the 500s, they work, I think, better. The E lenses work better on a Z9 or a Z setup than they do on a DSLR. Do you agree with me, or uh, do you agree with me, Peanut?
I do.
Yeah.
Um, I I didn't like on the DSLR. I found using the teleconverter that it slows my autofocus down a little more than the Z camera. The
Mhm.
Z seems like there's less of a lag on the TC.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Hey man, we got 47 people watching right now. Hello guys. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. It'll really help with the algorithms. More people
We,
viewing this chat. You know,
yeah, we need 20 more likes to catch up with the viewers.
hit that like button, guys. So yeah, guys. So give me a tip on when you go out shooting every weekend. It's usually with your wife or not with you. When it's not with your wife, do you go out or do you go out alone sometimes?
A lot. She comes when I go to a place there's a lot of availability to shooting,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that's usually like the spring and the summer. But in the fall through the winter, I'll go out in the mornings, usually alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's really cold. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll go out alone in the morning for sunrise, and then I'll come back for her. Where I go in the winter is usually about an hour from where I live. So around 10:30, 11, I'll drive back, get her, and then go back out for the afternoon session.
Do you when you're alone, what are some tips to kind of stay safe? I mean,
Safe in
terms of like, not getting mugged or hurt or, you know.
I want to say this. Typically, people who want to rob you will not go out in a trail to rob you. I want to say this. I don't know, but because they'll have to walk back like a quarter of a mile with your gear. So it's not a quick escape. You know what I mean? Unless someone wants to rob you by the car. I mean, otherwise, I haven't dealt with any issues of where I didn't feel safe with you mentioning people. The only time I felt, I don't want to say unsafe, but quite a few years ago, this person had 2 dogs and they were walking along where you drive. But if those dogs got loose, and they would have ripped me apart, because they were just like, they looked vicious and they were like lunging and attack, but they were at a good distance. I would say at least 30 yards away. But if one got loose, I would have been in trouble. So that's the only time I felt like, you know what, maybe I should go back to the car.
Yeah. Hey, Chuck.
Sir.
Go for it, man. I know I've been talking a lot. Just
No, that's okay. On that subject, though, are you somebody that would rather shoot alone? I mean, other than having your wife there, I know you enjoyed that. Shoot alone, or would you enjoy being out with 2 or 3 other photographers?
Well, if there's something real active, you like to be alone just so you can concentrate.
Okay.
But when things are like, oh, I'm waiting for 3 hours, nothing's happening, it's good to have somebody around just to pass the time.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, like over the summer, for 7 weeks, I was doing a barred owl. There was a family there, but we walk along this boardwalk trail, and it's a big woodsy forest area. They don't have to be by the trail. So I would say I would go every 3rd or 4th time, and I may see them. So those 3 other days, I was lucky. There was 2 other guys that were always there. So I got to learn all about them, and they know all about me.
That's awesome.
That's great. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like to go out in groups, or get together, 2 or 3 photographers or whatever, get together and go out somewhere and shoot. But, that's the reason I asked. But there's a difference between, hey, look, I'm serious about what I do. I would rather be there doing my own thing. I understand that 100%. And then there are, others that are just about, I just enjoy photography. I enjoy it when people are around and we can cut up and talk and whatever. And there's nothing wrong either way. That's the reason I was asking, though. What would you prefer? Okay.
Yeah, I never, unless it's the friend, I usually don't arrange to go with someone.
Okay.
Just because at last minute, I want to do something else or go somewhere else, or I got word to go this place to go.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard to be reliant. And sometimes you meet you're like, oh, I'll meet you here. And you're waiting and you're waiting,
Yeah.
Especially when I only have the weekend and maybe a Friday. I can't lose a morning just because I'm waiting for somebody.
No, I understand 100%.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, real quick, I just want to say hello to all the newer viewers, because there are quite a few new faces on this live stream today. Peter says hello. Hello, Peter from Australia. I think he first time here. He's saving up for his 863.
I'm waiting too.
Giga Berg, hello from Sweden. Is a Z9 and 7200 2.8 good for motorsports?
I would say so.
And ice hockey. Man, the 7200 is good for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at on the field, or where you're at. Ice hockey, I would think so, if you're like in the front, right? Maybe.
Well, at 2.8, you're shooting indoors, so you're covered there. You can shoot at 2.8.
Yeah.
And the 70-200 is an excellent lens. I don't care if you're talking about G, E or the Z mount. This has always been a go-to lens. So yeah, I think it's a good setup. Obviously, you may want some more length at some point, but that's a great. It's a great setup for shooting that. Just like Vahagan said, depends on how close to the action you are.
Hey, Peter, by the way, I just want to say thank you for the super chat. Support Nikon firmware focus breathing. Okay. All right. Thank you for the super chat and long rider as well. So when you're doing video with the VR, is it on or
Yep.
off? Your
Yeah, I put
VR
it-
selected on.
Yeah. I put it
So
on.
when I'm shooting with my 600 FL, I select VR on, not on sport, right? On
I just
regular
put it on
view.
normal on the lens.
Normal.
On lens.
Normal. Okay. All right. And does one battery last you the whole day, or do you take multiple batteries, or?
Usually, but if I'm shooting a lot, it will run out. You know, if I'm shooting a lot, it'll last 2.5 to 3 hours.
Mm,
So sometimes if things are going on after 3 hours, I may have to change the battery.
mm. Wow. Yeah. I take 3 batteries with me. A lot of my D4 batteries because they work.
I gave those batteries back, so
Yeah.
I changed them. I changed them all to Z batteries. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they work. They don't hold that much charge as much more than like the original Z9 batteries, but they still work. They last
Yeah.
me a good maybe half the time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I need to invest in a couple more batteries. Here we go. Angela, happy to have you here. I had the Z9 3 months. I just ordered the Z200, 400 Great, congratulations. Hope you get it soon, Angela. Yeah, if you had someone shooting with you, let's see. If you had someone shooting with you, it's hell getting the shutter clicks out of your videos. Yeah, that's right. Hey, so there's some wildlife photographers in here or birders. Let's see if we get any phone calls today, Chuck. Let me flash the phone.
All right. Well, hang on a minute. Let me go address something real quick. Sorry. But as soon as I get back, we'll go to the phone calls. All right.
Sure, no problem. So I have the 600. I have no plans on getting the 800. You know, I'm finding. By the way, do you use any teleconverters at all?
I have, but mostly I don't.
What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on TCs?
Well, the reason I don't is because I want the fastest autofocus I can get. The TC, I'm not saying it slows it down a lot, very slightly. And maybe that little slightness is a matter of getting focused on something coming super fast across, near you. But does it make a difference usually? I would say it's really tiny on the autofocus. So I typically don't use.
Yeah, I had great success using the TC3 on the 600, the 1.4.
Yep.
However, for stills,
Right.
I haven't really tried it for video. And but here's the one thing about these new lenses that are coming out with the built-in TCs. It's designed for very minimal quality loss. I mean, the videos that I saw online regarding these lenses,
they're matched. I mean, the
yeah,
TC's matched with the lens.
yeah,
So it's an improvement.
blew me away, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this is crazy. And
The technology now, that's why I said, do I want one? Yes. What's
not
holding me
right
back?
now.
Money.
Exactly, man.
Because especially when you have one already and it does the job, do I want to, take a hit of $8,000 or something like that? I don't know. I don't.
Because you're gonna have to give up that 800 that you have, and how much would you get for that lens right now?
No, I'm not giving up to 800.
Okay. All right.
No.
Okay, the 600 then.
Yeah, the 600. I'm not giving in right now. I'm not. There's no plans because
No, I know.
you know yeah.
My
That's
whole mindset is that I'm happy with my 600 FL, and if I sell it, it's going to be at a discount, and I would still need to pony up double what I sold it
because the
for.
price went up.
I would still need to pony up another $8,000 just to buy the TC version
Yeah,
of the Z lens. So
exactly. So
the
that's what
the the good thing about the FL is that it's high quality, it's great, the focus is fast, and on video, I love the way it transitions. Like the focus on the FL, I love the way it's smooth transition from subject to subject when you're doing video.
yeah,
It's not autofocus. Like it doesn't jerk, you know?
yeah. I think it's going to be a great lens. Is for most of us, for some of us like us that have it, it just
Yeah, it's a great
money-wise,
lens.
it hurts to do that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We have that lens already, but would I love to have the 600Z? Of course I would, but
Yep.
it's just a matter of money, you know? It's not a small amount of money.
Oh yeah.
How durable is it in the wild? I don't know. I have never used a 400 or a 600, and I've never held one actually.
What happened here?
I've never even held an 800 6.3. You know,
Yeah.
I've never even seen one.
Well,
Can you believe that? Like nobody.
They're not easy to come by.
Yeah. So for
I-
me, I'm happy with my FLs now. Doing video, that digital, that zoom with firmware 3.0, that digital, what is it? That zoom.
Yeah, I noticed it does that zoom. Yeah.
Is that cool or what? I think you would take advantage of that.
Well, I don't know the technology behind that because when you zoom in, I think you lose some megapixels. So I don't know if it's equal to doing that in software. So I don't know. It looks cool though. It does.
Yeah, no, it does. It's kind of cool. I haven't played with it either. I'll be honest with you. Just didn't have time, man, with the events and on the channel and stuff like that. I haven't really played, but I'm planning on going out very, very soon. Okay, I want to answer this question because I want to answer this. This is an interesting question. And Fisk Pad, you're not the only one that's asked me this question. He's talking about me. If you don't shoot wildlife or sports, why would you need those lenses? I enjoy it, man.
Because you want them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back in 1 second too.
I enjoy it. I use it for fun. I don't make money with doing 600 millimeter shots. So, but I enjoy it, man. Someone asked me, "Are you going to be shooting the wedding ceremony from across the street?" When I just bought the 600 FL, and I was like, "No." They were poking fun at me, but I was like, "Man, I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it." Am I crazy for buying these lenses that I don't really use that much? That's something that is debatable. But other people spend their money on other things, right? People go on $10,000-$20,000 vacations or fancy cars, or I spend it on gear, you know. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm fine with that. Do I need the 58 knock that I just bought? No. I have a 51.2 Z. I don't need the 58 knock, but I enjoy it. So yeah. All right, let's open up the phone line for Peanut. Can't wait until a used 400Z lens is available. Man, I don't know when that will be, Doza, and thank you for your question. Thank you for your comment here. Nice to see you here. First time, I'm thinking. Dennis also I haven't seen. Dennis, a little off topic here. Don't you miss the 3G? I think it has better rendering. Yeah, man, I kind of do, Dennis. I sold that lens. But I don't. Do I miss it? No. But you know what? Someone from the chat owns it. I sold it to Yaman. So Yaman, I shipped it to Dubai. So He has that lens. He loves it. But I might pick one up later on, see if I find a good deal on it. Let's see. I ordered the 800 PF for an April delivery. Not sure if it will get it by then. Yeah, we don't know, man. I would love to try out the Mossman order one too. Yeah, thanks, man. All right, let me flash the number. Chuck, let me flash the number. Hold on, where's the number? Let's see if we have any callers for Peanut. You can talk to Peanut live. Talk to us too.
I don't think anyone wants to talk to me.
Oh no, you wait, you wait. And by the way, callers, when
blame
you
them.
call, ask your question or make your comment, and then
Well,
and then
while we're waiting, I'll tell you a quick story why I got into birding. So it was about 6 years ago. And before that, I was doing people, landscapes, but it was good because I got to learn Photoshop during, those years before birding. So I go up to Maine with my wife. We get on this ferry that they take us out into the water, and then all of a sudden, one of the guys who works there holds up a fish in his hand, like that, up in the air, and he goes, "Look, the eagle's right there in the tree, and this eagle's there every day because he gets fed." So the eagle comes soaring down once he puts his hand up with the fish, and then he flits it in the air, and the eagle just grabs it out of the air and takes it with him. So in the meantime, at that time, I had a 610 with a 200 millimeter, but I wasn't using that. I bought a Fuji with a 100 to 400 lens. So I'm taking all these pictures. I'm like, oh, great. This is awesome. I take all these pictures. I bring them back to my computer. I look at them and I look at the pictures and I go, these are the worst pictures I've ever seen. This is my first time doing this. I'm like, this is terrible. So then I started to do research on, which cameras are good for fast moving wildlife birds. And then I went to the 850 with I got the 200 to 500 lens at that time. And I had that for a few months. And I started to go, spend a lot of time. But then I looked in the Autobahn contest. And I see they put the top 100 and they put what equipment they're using. And I see 600, 600, 600. So I go to my wife, I need that 600 lens. And I got the 600 lens then. So, and I didn't, I noticed some improvement, but still for that first year or so, it was still rough learning everything. But it all started from eagles that I said, this is awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. I would love to shoot eagle,
All right, gentlemen, your first call. See there, Mr. Peanut Chu, somebody does want to talk to you. Jeffrey Neville from Selective Imagery.
I know Jeffrey.
Hello, Peanut. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Great. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I think it's great to see you on the show. You're doing a great job, and your style of shooting and what you look for. And it's funny when you go over the settings, it's almost line on line exactly what I'm doing. So I think your stuff is great. I love watching your channel. Just keep up the good work and just keep on producing stuff, man. It's really, really great, and I love it.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. And
I'll get off the phone here so I can hear a little bit better of what people are saying.
Thanks.
Okay, Chuck, I'm going to hang up.
All right, thanks, Jeffrey.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. Yeah, no, honestly, there's a lot of people that watch your videos, man, and you inspire people to go out and shoot, and it's cool. It's inspired me to get out and shoot video with these birds with my lenses. So, and I'm gonna have fun doing it. That's why I'm gonna do it. I have fun. I enjoy it. I don't need these lenses. I honestly, when I do portraits and weddings, do I even need a Z9? I don't. Right. So that's awesome. Hey, John asks, Steve, do you use Topaz software?
No, I use Camera Raw, Bridge, Camera Raw to Photoshop. That's it.
Nice. Awesome. Real quick, I want to show a video.
Topaz's supposed to be good though. I see some people's work. It does. Some people do good work with it. I'm used to the camera raw and the Photoshop.
Hey, Maz, did you get that BMW? So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show the viewers a video real quick, just a little snippet of what you actually do for those of people that haven't seen a little bit of what you do. Just real quick, let's go. How do you do this, Chuck?
You just share your screen.
Share screen. There we go.
Yep.
I got it.
All right.
All right. Here we go. All right. Man.
Thank you so much.
That's man. That's awesome. So that's inspiring, Steve. It
Thank
really
you.
is.
Appreciate it.
You know, Vic says not Geo stuff right here.
Oh, that
Yeah. So
makes me feel good.
you know, it's all about just going out and shooting and having a good time. But see, my challenge is getting up in the crack of dawn. I wouldn't have to. I had to. It's a bit of a drive for me to get from where I'm at to places like that. So I would have to even like you get up at 3 a.m. just to be there at the crack of dawn. So or 4 a.m.
Yeah, the earliest I think I ever left was before 3.
Yeah.
You know, if the location was like 2.5 hours, but you know, in the beginning it was a little tougher to get my body in sync with that. But after a few months, your body just knows it's getting up. So even during my normal day job work week, I get up early because my clock is turned now. Before I used to go to bed, 12:30, 1 a.m. Now it's much earlier, so I turned my clocks. So now I don't miss. I've never slept in to say because I was tired, because my whole mentality is I know Monday is a work day and I'm not going to be out, so I'm not going to miss an opportunity.
Yeah. Angela says I've seen that video. It makes me happy. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Mozman, brings up a good point where he says, I know Peanut goes shooting every week because that's a lot of footage that took a while to obtain. Those are nice shots. And when you go out, you don't really, sometimes you don't capture these kind of shots. And it takes a while, right?
Yeah, what I typically do is if I'm going for a specific species of bird or that type of bird, it usually takes, I'll stay in that spot for about 2 months, 2 to 3 months. So,
Yeah.
certain places I could get multiple birds, but usually it's 3 months, 2 to 3 months worth of footage.
So you guys live in the East Coast. I can imagine what the weather is like at 5 in the morning, man. It's probably like freezing.
The coldest I had last year was I didn't know if my car would actually tell me negatives, but the coldest I saw was -2. And
Jeez.
that day, if the whole thing with the cold is the wind. When there's no wind, even 2 is not that bad. Now I layer up, but to me, the key thing that keeps me warm is the hands and the feet. So I always have hand warmers and toe warmers. I always have them on, and that really helps out.
Yeah, Greg says up early in wild is a wildlife photographer's life. Yeah, man. That's probably why I'm not a wildlife photographer.
Or landscape
you can be.
photographer. Yeah.
Well, Vahagan, you can also do the sunsets. So the sunsets work too.
Yeah, but with the sunsets, the problem with that is you got a lot more competition, especially if you're going, to a place where it's like a spot,
There's more people.
There's more people, and you gotta have to deal with more photographers, like, but in a remote location, yeah, but yeah, getting up in the morning, man, I don't know. But here's a question. Let's see. Have you been to India to photograph tigers and lions and snow leopards?
I would like it.
Can you imagine that trip? Man, India? I got to go to India, Chuck.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, speaking of weather, we're getting our first snow flakes here in Connecticut tonight. My deck's already got just a little coating of snow on it. So there you go. Welcome winter. Not.
David Stewart, the 600 800 portrait lens just asked the 2 mats. I would not shoot portraits with those lenses, but you can. They'll be far away though. Okay, question about your because Mosman says, do you use lens warmers or let the gear assimilate to the conditions? How do you pronounce that word, Chuck?
Acclimate.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Acclimate.
Acclimate. Okay.
I don't use any warmers.
Okay.
When I carry the lens. I carry it in the box that it came with.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't use it in the. So I do assemble it when I get there, but I haven't had any problems with the weather. Only once did I get a fog up when it was real moist, high humidity, and I came from my air conditioned car, and then I went out in I guess the dew point is it reached that point, so I got a fog on my lens. I only had that one time, so.
What do you do when that happens?
I just have to wait it out. Usually on that day, it only happened once or twice. In about 15 minutes, it'll just clear up on its own.
Okay, you never get like a little cloth and start wiping.
You know what? In 5, I've had it 5 years to that lens. I've never touched the front element.
That's a wise move. Man, all these things you gotta know when you're shooting like that. That's crazy.
Well, you know what? I read the manual, and the manual says even if there's dust on it, just leave it. Don't touch it. So I'm like, okay, and I haven't noticed any problems. I do see some dust, So I haven't touched the front elements.
What do you use to? What do you use for the lens hood on your 600?
I used the one that it came with.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's cool. I really like the new Z600 lens hoods.
Yeah, it's different, right?
They're nice. They fit nicer, and I like what they did on those newer lenses. Not the lens hood, the lens cap. Sorry, did I
Oh, the
say lens
cap.
hood? I
Oh,
meant
the
lens
cap.
cap. The
Okay.
cap, the soft cap that the Z comes with,
Hmm.
or the FL. But I really like what they did with the Z lens caps. It's
I've
it
never seen one.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a kind of like a Velcro thing going on, and
Okay.
it fits really. It's nice and it's smaller. It's better for packing.
Hmm.
But yeah. So, quick question about your outfit: does it help to wear those camouflage things?
This, where I go, people, they always joke, oh, I couldn't see you standing there with the camo, but does it help? Usually the bird, he can spot a mouse about a mile away, so
Wow.
he can see me.
Yeah.
But I buy this gear and I see everyone else, especially in the beginning when I was going, everyone else is wearing this camo.
Mhm.
So I said, oh, I just want to fit in. So I said,
Mhm.
let me buy some camo.
I'm from Kentucky, and that's daily wear. So
And I buy that gear is not all the gear, but the winter gear is especially made for cold. I buy from a hunting company called First Light, and they specialize in cold weather. So it really, I layer up, but I like the quality of this that you call the Alpha. This is First Light insignia, and I like to wear their walls.
Mhm.
So, and I was telling you earlier that I actually wear wool in the summer,
Mhm.
and when I tell people you're wearing wool in the summer, are you nuts? That's hot. But these are actually summer wools. So when it's hot and humid, it doesn't absorb sweat, so it remains dry. Does that help me? I don't know. Personally, I don't like that wet feeling when a cotton shirt gets wet. So this is where I get my gear.
For wildlife, Jeff and Leslie says camo doesn't really help with wildlife photography. Best camo is to sit still and be quiet.
That's true. 100% true.
So where would you want to go? Like, what is your like dream location to check out to photograph?
There's so many places on the list. There's so many. There's so many great places. South America has great places.
Mm.
I want to go to
Brazil.
Texas. Well, I wanted to go to Texas this year, but I like to drive because I carry a lot of stuff. But I think we're deciding that March we're going to go to Florida, which is great for wildlife also. But I wanted to go to Texas, but um, it's a little far to drive.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Out west,
Chuckster,
west is great.
yes, sir.
how far have you gotten from with the car? Like, where's your furthest place you drove for
Florida,
pictures?
yeah, Florida. Florida
Yeah.
is like um, it says 16 hours if you're driving straight through.
Mm.
But my wife drinks a lot of Diet Coke, so that means there's a lot of stopping along the way. So it's not 16 hours. So one of the first times I drive down to Florida, she had to work till like noon time. So we left on a Friday. We left at noon, and I wound up getting into Florida at 10 a.m. the next day. No, along the way, we're trying to find the hotel. I didn't arrange all this. I didn't get a hotel. And along the way, you're trying to find a hotel. You just can't do it at midnight. So after I stopped and rest, I got in at 10 a.m. So my wife is like, I'm going to bed. So, oh, yeah, the Airbnb didn't let us until 1 p.m. So at 1 p.m., she goes to bed. I go out shooting. So I didn't sleep that whole night. I went out shooting, and the adrenaline is up so that I could maintain without sleeping the whole night. So that
Yeah.
was my first. Now I have it down better that I know a hotel where I'm going to stop along the way.
Yeah. You're what part of Jersey you from? Are you close to the Sopranos tourist locations?
I think Sopranos is like 30 or 40 minutes south.
The pork store?
Yeah, south of me. I'm on the most northern border of New Jersey. I could throw a rock and hit New York. Not really. I'm about a mile
Oh.
off. New
So
York
you're
State. Not.
yeah. Oh, Omar's from there too. Omar Gonzalez is
Oh.
from Jersey.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's from there too. But man, all you guys. So B&H is your local store?
I used to go there all the time. Yeah. I used to. Yeah. My wife would go into the city a lot, and I said, "I'll go with you, and I'll go into B&H."
Did you ever consider going down there and shooting the urban raptors? Because that's big now down in the city. Not shooting them, but the raptors are, numerous now.
Yeah. A lot of people go to Central Park. Yes, this is one of the big place.
Peter asks, do you shoot use any kind of filters whatsoever shooting wildlife? If so, what kind?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
It's kind of tough when you're using these long lenses because I don't own any NDs for my 600. I have to find 40.5 size filters. You just take the tray out and unscrew the filter and put it in. I should get some NDs though. But yeah. Yeah, Chuck, and Peanut, this was a great talk, guys. Chuck, how you doing, my man?
Doing great. I've enjoyed Peanut and or Steve. I'm sorry. I just feel
I love Peanut too.
Okay, all right. I've enjoyed it. I started watching your videos right after you started the channel, and I fell in love with it. And especially, I got to tell you again, I just love it when your parents are involved. It just adds so much to the channel. Whether anybody else likes it or not, I don't care. I love it. So, yeah, I just want to ask you a question. How long did you think you would be in here tonight?
Well, I saw Vahagraphy's last one, and it was 2 hours. So I was guesstimating around then. But
time has flown, hasn't it? When you're in here in the chat, and we tell people that all the time. Somebody will say, "Well, I can hang around for an hour." 2 hours later, we're still going, and they didn't even realize where the time went. It's just that's part of this, the live streaming thing. It's so nice, and so many people get to hear you. Here's the other thing: is they get to see who you are, because you can't hide who you are when you come on live.
Yeah.
and I got to tell you,
that was the part that I was fearing. I said to my wife, I said, after I go live stream, no one's going to want to watch me anymore.
Not at all. Not at all. You're genuine, and I base that on what I see in your videos and now live, because it's easy in the video to edit and, go back and retake and whatever. But you make me enjoy your channel even more now. I just want you to know.
Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you having me on.
You're welcome, man.
It's an honor.
This does a few things. This actually, for the viewer, you interact with the comments. Live streams, like Chuck said, is a different animal. It's unscripted. You can't go back and redo that part again.
I said, when I do my videos, in the beginning, I was just doing it out of my head, but now some of them, now I'm using a teleprompter just because, and with the teleprompter, I'm messing up with the teleprompter. I'm stuttering, and I'm like, I can't even do it with the teleprompter. I can imagine live. I'm going to be terrible.
Oh, no, that's what makes you real. And that's what people love to see is, just you. And you come across in the live stream here just as you do in your videos, and that's great.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Guys.
Yeah, you're the same guy, and it's great. You're genuine, which he said. Chuck said it best.
Well, you know, the whole thing with the channel is really is fun for me. I enjoy being creative, and I like sharing what I know. And you know, I don't what I and it helps me because I feel when I go out, no, I have to bring something good for people. So it makes me up my game when I go out there. I'm like, I got to get something good.
Yeah.
So it works both ways that I hope someone's enjoying it and getting something out of it, but I'm also, it's helping me also. So it's a two-way with the YouTube. So
Well,
that's why I'm really liking it.
you broke the ice tonight. Do you feel more comfortable now?
Oh, after this, I'll probably go lay down and faint from my nerves. But
Oh no,
you broke me. Now I'm feeling a little better. In the beginning, a little shaky.
Yeah.
Well,
You had to start up a live stream channel, and you're the only one on the live stream.
Yeah, because I said before, when Vahagan contacted me, I thought it was just going to be a one-on-one, and I would have felt, I'm like, oh, I could talk to Vahagan. Yeah, sounds good. But then he said live. I was like, what did I get into?
No, you're fantastic, man, and I think a lot of people would agree, and hopefully it draws a few more people to your channel because they need to go over and check out your channel. It's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, and what I was going to add was not only is it interactive with these live streams with the questions and people getting to know you on a different level, but there's a lot of repeat or replay viewers. They watch these videos after the fact because not a lot of people can watch it live.
Right.
So the link to Peanut Chu's Adventures channel will be in the description for all you guys to check out and subscribe to his channel. Like I said, man, what motivates me is subscriptions, likes, and comments. People appreciate what I do, and they let me know about it, and that makes me want to go out and do more videos, right?
Exactly.
And
I appreciate you. Yeah, you got great stuff.
Same thing here, because with the more viewers you get, it motivates you to do something else, something different, something new, right?
Exactly. In the beginning, I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, no one's watching me. I don't know. I'm like, either I'm terrible or
No, man. This was a very very awesome stream. Yeah, you're a good guy, and I just wanted to highlight you in this one. Live streams. Wait, what did he say? Hold on. There was a comment here I wanted to. Oh yeah, here we go.
Mozman, yeah.
Greg, do you have a shoot plan for this weekend? What are you planning?
Oh yeah, every week. Well, for the next 3 months, I go New York State because I like the short-eared owls, upstate New York. But I've been going for the last month. No owls yet. It's been too warm up north. So there were a few hawks and harriers. So that's what I've been. But for the last 2 weekends, I've gotten this much zero, zilch. And I was out there 40 hours, nothing.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get the snowies up here in Connecticut before long.
Yeah, they were there last year on the beach over there. Yeah.
And then Jeffrey says you'd have to visit Chuck's channel sometime too. So the time slot.
I do see Chuck on the Wednesdays. I tune in during my breaks, and I do watch for a little while.
Yeah. So,
but I do watch the replays. The replays.
Well, I appreciate that. And now you broke the ice, like I was saying before. Now don't be I
won't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy and come around. You're welcome. And I'm not going to speak for Vaughan, but I'm absolutely sure he feels the same way. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks, guys.
In live or otherwise.
You made it great. You made it make me feel you made me feel comfortable. And thank you for that.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Gustavo, Mr. Chu, your passion for wildlife and photography comes across on your videos and this live stream. Exactly how I feel.
Thank you, Gustavo.
Don't forget to hit the like.
I always see him on a comment. And Gustavo, thank you for always commenting and making me feel good.
And please say hello to your mom and dad and your wife from all of us. And we appreciate they support you. and let you do this because we all enjoy watching it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Greg. Greg says I cut out early to watch the live stream. You guys doing a great job. Thank you so much. Jose Melo, thank you so much. I don't think I've seen you in here. First time. If this is your first time commenting, thank you for being here.
Vahagan, I do have the key for you to get up in the mornings on the weekends.
No, I don't drink that stuff, man.
You know what? I didn't either, but I will in the mornings just to be safe on the road. It keeps you alert. That's why
I know, man, but they say it's not really good for your heart. I don't
probably
know.
not.
Yeah. So isn't
you never know
ribeye.
what my last video will be because
so isn't ribeye steaks, but I love ribeye steak. You know what I mean? Hey, Steve, he says, "What's your day job?" John Ishii asks.
I'm a programmer. Yeah.
Mozman is too, kind of. I think Mozman does that too. Too much coffee is enough.
Now, do I wish I was shooting every day, all day? Yeah. But
well, this was fun, man. Peanut, this was fun. Chuck, any last questions, comments for?
No, sir. I've enjoyed it, and Peanut, thank you very much for
guys.
just being real in here.
And I want to thank you, Peanut. Again, check out Peanut Chu Adventures on YouTube. The link is in the description. Go over there on his channel, subscribe to it, check out his stuff. And by the way, no one talks about when you have lenses that you want to talk about in your room there. You do that too. It's not only shooting. You explain lenses, you explain how you do things, about the lens, about the gear. So those are fun to watch too. And you have this dry sense of humor that I really enjoy. And your parents. So say hi to your parents for me.
I will.
Say the rock and roll photographer says hello. And by the way, next time you got to do one of these for me when they're videos.
I'm gonna wear a Rush T-shirt. Next, I'll show you the Rush. That goes back to my my day too. Rush in high school.
Yeah, man, I love Rush. So you got to get your mom and dad to do one of these for me.
Okay.
All right. Next video.
I'm gonna do that.
And I'm going to get on you here for a minute. You need to get your father some more lines. Honor your father, okay? If he requested, you should do that.
Yep, I'm going to do that.
You gotta talk. You guys, I think you guys will.
Thanks, John.
John is a really interesting fellow, and he's in Malaysia. And you guys will. I really want to see you, John, and on Chuck's channel one day, because I think it'll be a good time. Jeffrey and everybody. So, well, thanks a lot, guys. Chuck, thank you again for being here as well.
Thank you, brother. Check
out AP Studios on YouTube. Like and subscribe over there. He has 2 live streams a week. If you like live streams like this, you'll love his channel. So like and subscribe, AP Studios. Again, thank you, Peanut Chu. This was Vahagraphy Talk number 52. In the books. And by the way, Peanut, excellent. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for inspiring me to go out and shoot some birds. Video, man. You got to do video, I love it with the Z9. So, yeah. Okay, everyone in the chat, thank you. Thank you for being here and asking questions and making this special. So, we'll see you on the next Vahagraphy Talk. And always remember, guys, very important to remember to rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
See you guys. Hey, what's good, guys? Vahagan here from Vahagraphy. If you like more rockin' videos like this one, go ahead and check the videos on the screen and subscribe to this channel, Vahagraphy. Rock and roll.